God says, listen closely, my beloved soul, because this message did not reach you by accident. Something inside your spirit already knows that this moment matters. There are times in life when heaven whispers, and there are times when heaven speaks clearly. Right now, this is not a whisper. This is a gentle but powerful call meant to bring you back into peace, clarity, and divine alignment. Archangel Michael stands beside you in this moment, not with fear, not with anger, but with deep concern and compassion for your soul's journey. You may feel tired. You may feel distant. You may feel like your connection with God has weakened over time. But understand this clearly, God's hand has never left you. Even when you walked away, even when you doubted, even when you felt unworthy, His presence remained close. This message is not about fear. It is about awakening. It is about remembering who you are and where your true peace comes from. Archangel Michael says that many people drift away from God's guidance not because they want to, but because life becomes loud, stressful, and confusing. Thoughts multiply. Responsibilities grow. Distractions surround you. Slowly, the quiet connection fades. But fading does not mean lost. Distance does not mean erased. God does not erase His children. He waits with patience that humans cannot fully understand. Right now, something inside you is being stirred. That feeling you get when you think about your purpose, your destiny, your spiritual path. That is not random. That is your soul remembering its origin. Heaven is not shouting to scare you. Heaven is calling you to return to peace, wisdom, and trust. Archangel Michael speaks gently, "Child of God, you are not forgotten. You are not abandoned. You are not erased. You are being called back into alignment, back into light, back into your true path." This message found you because you are ready to hear it. You are ready to slow down, breathe, and reconnect. Think about how many times you felt protected when you should have been broken. Think about how many times things worked out when they should not have. Think about the quiet strength that carried you through moments you thought would destroy you. That was God's hand. And that hand is still here. This is not about fear of losing God. This is about remembering Him. This is about choosing Him again, consciously, peacefully, without pressure. You are being invited, not threatened. You are being guided, not forced. Archangel Michael says that when a soul hears this kind of message, it is often standing at a turning point. A moment where thoughts shift, habits change, and the heart opens again. You may not see dramatic signs in the sky, but real miracles often begin quietly inside the heart. Stay with this message. Let it settle. Let it calm you. Let it remind you that you are still held, still seen, still guided. Archangel Michael continues to speak with a calm presence, reminding you that spiritual distance does not happen in one day. It happens slowly, quietly, through exhaustion, disappointment, unanswered questions, and moments where you felt you had to rely only on yourself. God understands this better than anyone. He knows the weight you have been carrying, the thoughts you have not shared, and the silent questions you keep asking at night. This message comes not to judge you, but to walk beside you as you remember how to rest again in divine trust. There is a reason your heart still searches for meaning even when life feels busy. There is a reason you feel drawn toward messages like this, toward moments of silence, toward something deeper than routine survival. Archangel Michael says this is the soul's memory waking up. Long before fear, before pressure, before comparison, your soul knew peace. That peace did not disappear. It only waited patiently beneath the noise. Many people believe faith must look perfect, strong, or constant. But heaven knows that real faith often trembles, questions, and learns again. God does not expect you to have everything figured out. He only invites you to return with honesty. If you feel weak, you are still welcome. If you feel confused, you are still guided. If you feel far away, you are still seen. Archangel Michael reminds you that God's hand is not something you earn by perfection. It is something you recognize through humility. When you stop trying to control everything, when you release the need to understand every outcome, something shifts inside you. Peace does not arrive all at once, but it begins quietly, like a soft breath after holding tension for too long. Think about the moments in your life when you felt guided without knowing why. A delay that protected you. A closed door that saved you. A sudden clarity that changed your direction. These were not coincidences. These were gentle interventions. God's guidance often works silently, respecting your free will while still surrounding you with unseen care. Archangel Michael speaks now about alignment. Alignment does not mean your life becomes easy overnight. It means your heart and your actions begin to move in the same direction. When you align with God, you stop fighting yourself. You stop carrying guilt for growing. You stop punishing yourself for being human. Instead, you learn to walk forward with patience and grace. This part of the message is meant to slow you down internally. Not to rush your thoughts, not to push emotions aside, but to let them pass through calmly. Overthinking is often a sign that the soul wants reassurance. And reassurance does not always come through answers. Sometimes it comes through presence. Through knowing you are not alone in your process. Archangel Michael says that returning to God's hand does not require dramatic changes. It begins with awareness. With choosing honesty over hiding. With choosing peace over constant mental noise. With choosing trust even when certainty feels far away. These small internal decisions quietly rebuild the connection you thought was lost. You are not late. You are not behind. You are not missing your destiny. You are learning it. God's timing does not operate on human panic. It operates on readiness. And this message reaching you now is a sign that something within you is ready to soften, to listen, and to realign. Stay present with these words. Let them sit with you without rushing to conclusions. This message is not asking you to do anything immediately. It is asking you to remember. Remember who you were before fear shaped your choices. Remember who you are beneath expectations. Remember that faith is not pressure, it is refuge. Archangel Michael ends this part with a gentle reminder. God's hand has always been open. Returning to it is not a step backward. It is a step inward, toward clarity, balance, and quiet strength. Archangel Michael continues with a voice that does not rush you, because heaven does not hurry the healing of the soul. He speaks gently about the quiet battles you have faced, the ones no one applauded you for surviving. The moments when you stayed strong on the outside while something inside you felt tired, uncertain, or unseen. God noticed every one of those moments. Nothing was wasted. Nothing was ignored. Even your silence carried meaning. There are seasons in life when faith becomes quiet, not because it is gone, but because it is maturing. Loud faith seeks signs everywhere. Mature faith learns to recognize God even in stillness. Archangel Michael says you are entering a season where understanding grows deeper, not faster. This is why you may feel less reactive now, less desperate for instant answers, and more drawn toward calm reflection. This is not weakness. This is spiritual growth. You may have wondered why certain desires changed, why some connections no longer feel aligned, or why goals that once excited you now feel empty. This is not loss. This is refinement. God gently removes what no longer supports your peace so that your path can become clearer. When you outgrow something, it does not mean it was wrong. It means it served its purpose, and now your soul is ready for more truth, more balance, and more depth. Archangel Michael speaks about trust, not as blind belief, but as a relationship built over time. Trust grows when you look back and realize how many times you were protected without realizing it. How many moments of disappointment quietly redirected you towards something safer? How many endings were actually shields? God's hand was present even when you did not recognize it. And now, recognition is returning. This part of the message invites you to release self-judgment. You were never meant to carry guilt for learning. Every step, including mistakes, helps shape your discernment. God does not replay your past to shame you. He uses it to prepare you. What you learned through pain is now wisdom. What you endured through confusion is now strength. Nothing about you is behind schedule. Archangel Michael reminds you that peace does not arrive by force. It arrives through permission. When you allow yourself to slow down internally, your nervous system settles, your thoughts soften, and your spirit becomes more receptive. This is why stillness feels uncomfortable at first. Because your mind has been trained to survive through tension. But peace is teaching you a new language, one that speaks through calm awareness rather than constant effort. You are not meant to carry everything alone. God never designed the soul to be self-sufficient without connection. Surrender does not mean giving up your power. It means returning your weight to where it belongs. When you release control, you do not lose direction. You gain alignment. Archangel Michael says this alignment is already beginning, even if you cannot fully explain it yet. Notice how your reactions are changing. How you pause more before responding. How you think deeper before acting. How you value peace more than proving a point. These are signs of spiritual grounding. Your energy is becoming more intentional. Your presence more steady. This is the result of reconnecting with God's hand, not through fear, but through understanding. Archangel Michael speaks now about patience. Patience is not waiting passively. It is trusting actively. It is knowing that what is meant for you will arrive in the right form, at the right time, without forcing. God does not rush blessings because rushed things rarely last. What grows slowly grows strong. What arrives calmly stays rooted. This message is also about compassion toward yourself. You are allowed to rest without guilt. You are allowed to grow without explanation. You are allowed to change without apology. God's guidance does not demand exhaustion. It encourages balance. When you care for your inner world, your outer life begins to reflect stability rather than chaos. Archangel Michael asks you to remember something important. You are not being tested right now. You are being supported. The heaviness you once felt is slowly being replaced by clarity. The confusion is giving way to quiet confidence. You may not have all the answers, but you are learning how to trust the process without fear. This part of the message is meant to anchor you emotionally. To remind you that you are safe to continue forward without rushing, without pressure, and without comparison. Your journey is unique. Your pace is respected. God's hand does not push. It guides. As this section comes to rest, Archangel Michael leaves you with reassurance rather than instruction. The connection you are rebuilding is real. The peace you are sensing is valid. And the clarity unfolding within you is not temporary. It is the foundation for what comes next. Archangel Michael speaks now with calm authority, not to awaken fear, but to awaken remembrance. He reminds you that God's hand has never left you. It was your attention that drifted while you were learning how to survive in a noisy world. Survival taught you strength, but reconnection teaches you peace. This is why this moment feels different. It is not dramatic. It is grounding. It does not shake you. It steadies you. There comes a stage in every soul's journey where growth is no longer about chasing signs, chasing approval, or chasing outcomes. It becomes about alignment. About knowing who you are when no one is watching. About choosing integrity over urgency, peace over pressure, and truth over illusion. Archangel Michael says you are standing at that stage now, even if you cannot fully explain it yet. God is not asking you to become someone new. He is inviting you to return to who you were before the world taught you to doubt yourself. Before disappointment made you guarded. Before expectations made you anxious. Before comparison made you forget your own value. The hand of God does not reshape you by force. It restores you gently, layer by layer. You may notice that your prayers have changed. They may be quieter now. More honest. Less about asking for things and more about asking for clarity, strength, and peace. This is spiritual maturity. It means your soul understands that blessings are not only external rewards, but internal stability. God listens closely to these prayers because they come from alignment, not desperation. Archangel Michael speaks of responsibility, not as burden, but as awareness. When you become aware of your inner world, you begin to protect it. You choose your words more carefully. You choose your reactions more wisely. You step away from what drains you, even if it once felt familiar. This is not avoidance. This is discernment. There are people who will not understand your silence, your distance, or your boundaries. But God understands. Not every explanation is required. Not every connection is meant to be carried forward. Some relationships were lessons, not lifetimes. Releasing them does not make you ungrateful. It makes you honest. Archangel Michael reminds you that divine timing works differently from human urgency. What is delayed is not denied. What is slow is not stagnant. Growth beneath the surface is still growth. God often works quietly so that when change arrives, it is sustainable, not overwhelming. This is why patience is being strengthened within you now. You are learning how to trust without forcing outcomes. How to move forward without anxiety. How to rest without guilt. These are signs that God's hand is no longer something you seek desperately, but something you recognize naturally. Faith is becoming a place you live from, not something you visit only during hardship. This message also speaks to your future. Not as prediction, but as preparation. The next phase of your life will require clarity, emotional steadiness, and grounded confidence. You are being prepared not just to receive blessings, but to sustain them. To manage peace without sabotaging it. To handle success without losing humility. To walk forward without forgetting where your strength truly comes from. Archangel Michael emphasizes gratitude as a doorway. Gratitude does not mean ignoring challenges. It means recognizing support even within them. Each moment of awareness strengthens your connection to God's hand. Each moment of stillness sharpens your intuition. Each moment of trust deepens your spiritual stability. You are not late. You are not behind. You are not failing. You are integrating. Integration is the phase where lessons settle into wisdom, where pain becomes perspective, and where faith becomes embodied rather than spoken. This phase may feel quiet, but it is powerful. As this final part unfolds, Archangel Michael offers reassurance rather than urgency. Nothing is being taken from you. Nothing is being threatened. This message is an invitation, not a demand. An opening, not a deadline. A reminder that returning to God's hand is always possible, and always welcomed. You do not need to prove your faith. You live it through your choices, your patience, your kindness, and your willingness to grow. God does not measure you by perfection. He recognizes sincerity. And sincerity is present within you now. This message concludes with peace, not pressure. With grounding, not intensity. With clarity, not confusion. What you take from this moment is yours to keep. Let it guide you gently. Let it remind you of who you are becoming. Let it anchor you when the world feels loud again. If this message brought calm to your heart, take a moment to like this video so it can reach others who need peace today. Subscribe to stay connected with more messages of clarity and spiritual guidance. Share this with someone who may be walking quietly through their own journey. And comment one word that reflects how this message made you feel. Your presence here matters.